Okay, so this is second part of section 5.7, and we're still talking about exponential expressions. So an exponential expression is completely simplified when all of the following are true. Each base occurs only once. There are no parentheses in the expression. No exponents are raised to other exponents, and there are no negative or zero exponents. So let's start with example 5.75 here. If we multiply in the numerator, we have a -3 times a 2, which gives us a -6. And then we have an x to the 5th times an x to the -2. So remember, we add the exponents. So x to the 5th plus -2 is all the exponent. Then in the denominator, we still have the 24x raised to the 12th power. So that's -6x. 5 plus a -2 is 3, so it's -6x cubed over 24x to the 12th. Okay, if we continue, we have -6 over 24, and we have x. Now we have an x cubed divided by an x to the 12th. So that's where we subtract exponents, and the one in the numerator goes first. So we have 3 minus 12 for the exponent on the x. So that's -6. X to the 3 minus 12 is -9 over 24. Now, 6 goes into 24 4 times, and 6 goes into itself once. So we have a -1 x to the -9 over 4. And we don't like to have negative exponents. So remember, if there's a negative exponent, we can just move the whole factor to the denominator. So the -1 stays in the numerator. The 4 stays in the denominator, and we move the x to the -9 from the numerator to the denominator, and when we do that, the exponent becomes positive. Okay, let's try, let's see, I'll leave 5.76 for you to try. Let's go to 5.7.7. So for this one, we have this whole fraction raised to a negative exponent. So the first thing we should do is, following the order of operations, simplify what's in the parentheses as much as possible. So 2 divides into 2 once, and 2 goes into 6 3 times. So that leaves us with a -3. Then, following the rules for division, we have a to the 6 minus 2, b to the 3 minus 5. And that whole thing is raised to the -3rd power. So let's see, we have -3a to the 6 minus 2 is 4, and b to the 3 minus 5 is -2. Then all of that is to the -3 power. So now this is where we should, distribute's not exactly the right word, but it's sort of what we're doing. We're going to take the -3 and we're going to apply it to every single term. So we have negative 3, sorry, not term factor. We have negative 3 to the negative 3 power times a to the 4th to the negative 3 power times b to the negative 2 to the negative 3 power. So negative 3 to the negative 3 is 1 over negative 3 quantity cubed. A to the 4th to the 3rd, and this will be in the numerator, is a to the 4 times negative 3. And then we have b to the negative 2 times negative 3. So that equals 1a to the negative 12, b to the positive 6, because we're multiplying exponents. So on the a, we have 4 times negative 3, which is negative 12. And on the b, we have negative 2 times negative 3, which is a positive 6. Now, negative 3 cubed is negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. So that gives us a to the negative 12, b to the 6th, we don't need that 1, and negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 is a negative 27. So we can bring the negative out in front of the fraction, which makes 27 in the denominator. We need, the a has a negative 12 exponent, so we need to bring it down to the denominator. And the b is a positive 6 exponent, so we leave it in the numerator. Okay. Let's see, let's go to 5.7.6 now. So this one, since the whole thing is not in parentheses, we cannot simplify first. So we need to apply this squared. So we have 4 squared times x squared times y to the 3 times 2. All over 8 x to the 5th y to the 4th. So 4 squared is 16, x squared, y to the 3 times 2 is 6, over 8 x to the 5th y to the 4th. Okay, 8 goes into 8 once, and it goes into 16 twice. So we have 2 x to the 2 minus 5, y to the 6 minus 4, applying that rule for division. So that's 2x to the negative 3, y squared. And we don't like to have negative exponents in our final answer, so we need to move the x to the negative 3 into a denominator. So we have 2y squared over x cubed. Okay, now on 5.7.8, we can simplify within the parentheses first. So we have, using the division rule, x to the negative 8 minus 4, y to the 3 minus a negative 3, and z, now if there's no exponent written, there's a 1 there. So we have z to the 1 minus a negative 2, and all of that should be to the negative 4th power. And I ran out of room, so I'm just going to rewrite all of that. So let's see, we have and z to the 1 minus negative 2. And all of that is to the negative 4th power. Okay, so negative 8 minus 4 is negative 12. Then we have y to the 3 minus a negative 3 is 3 plus 3, so that's 6. And z to the 1 minus a negative 2 is 1 plus 2, so that's z cubed. All to the negative 4th power. Now we need to, again, for lack of a better word, distribute this negative 4th power. So that gives us x to the negative 12 times negative 4, y to the 6 times negative 4, and z cubed times negative 4, which is x to the 48th, y to the negative 24, z to the negative 12. And then again, we don't like negative exponents, so we move those down into a denominator and make the exponents positive, and we're done. We'll pick up with the scientific notation in the next video.